So we're up against a master thief, assassin, high performance driver. Who is he?
His name is Luigi, and he's Mario's brother.
Mamma mia.
Hello familia, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. Fast and Furious 9 has finally raced into theaters. It came out this weekend. What I'm going to do here for you guys in this video is giving you my full spoiler review on Fast and Furious 9, going into the ending of the movie, talking about that end credit slash post-credit scene, some Easter eggs in this movie that call back to other Fast and Furious films, and even our prediction for what will happen in the last two Fast and Furious movies that they do currently have planned to end the franchise. But I'm also need you guys out there, my familia, to leave me your spoiler review down below. Was this one that disappointed you? I let you guys know in my spoiler-free video that I was not feeling too hot on this film. It was kind of a letdown for me, and I am a big fan of La Familia. But before continuing on with the video, I do want to go ahead and thank our sponsor here, and that is Cinemark Theaters. They not only gave me a private screening of Fast and Furious 9, they allowed me to bring my entire familia, and that in Vin Diesel's book makes them familia. And this weekend, Cinemark wants to reach out and make everybody else familia, because if you choose to go with them to see Fast and Furious 9 this weekend, or any movie for that matter, they're currently celebrating what they call Cinema Week, where it's a rejoice, a renouncing of going back to the theaters, and in honor of welcoming all you great people back and choosing Cinemark Theaters, they will lay out a bunch of movie merch for free for you to get while supplies last. When I was there, I decided to pick me up some posters for Space Jam and New Legacy. Look at this. I've been really looking forward to this movie. My girlfriend went ahead and picked herself up a Spirited Away keychain. Definitely not going on my keychain. And Cinemarks all around you will be having a bunch of different movie merch, so I definitely recommend if you choose to go to the theater this weekend, make it a Cinemark theater. Not only do they have the yummiest popcorn, I stand by that, they are giving you free movie merch. Come on now. I'll be leaving links in the description for you to find your nearest Cinemark theater so you can go ahead and celebrate with them. Alright, but now diving into it here with Fast and Furious 9, I don't want to make this video me just entirely crapping on this movie. I know it's going to feel that way when I go into every little detail that made me upset about this film. I want to make it clear that even though this was a letdown for me, a step back, probably one of my least favorite in the Fast and Furious franchise, I'm still all up for the Fast and Furious movies. I want to see how they end this crazy franchise in 10 and 11. Weird that they're going to end it on an odd number, 11. Oh, they're probably going to do that whole road thing with the 11s on the poster. I see what you're doing. But this Fast and Furious to me was the first one in a long time that did not feel like a Fast and Furious film. I want to start off talking about something that they definitely hid from the marketing, and I think will be a big surprise to a lot of people watching this movie, is all the flashback scenes to a younger Dominic Toretto and a younger Jacob. I honestly didn't know how to feel about this first time going in and as it was progressing in the film, and I don't want to say anything negative about those actors or what they were doing. Heck, I think some of the scenes they did were kind of fun to watch and were nostalgic, because I thought it was kind of cool seeing a younger version of characters we knew from the first Fast and Furious movie based on how they were dressed. A young Letty, a young Mia. If this was Warner Brothers, I would think they were trying to set up an HBO Max spin-off series where it would focus on these guys, but who knows if Universal is into the spin-off movie game. But I think these flashback scenes were actually a real detriment to the movie, at least a heavy focus on them. I understand a few of them, but there was just so many that had such long extended sequences. And the reason I say I think it worked against the movie is because it showed you, hey, you remember when these guys were just street racers, were street thugs, all they did was just hang around at night, avoid police and racing? To then you cut back to John Cena's an international spy with sci-fi equipment and this device that is supposed to destroy the world through some technological reason that we don't care about. When you cut back and forth from these two scenes, it just makes you realize how wild and how insane this franchise has gotten, and not even in a good way. I understand some things progress, like I don't think we ever imagined when watching the first Iron Man that he would eventually be fighting a purple guy in space on another planet. And that's not to say the flashback scenes themselves were dumb, because if anything, the most entertaining part of this movie is the race that they have between young Dom and young Jacob. Like, it was old school Fast and Furious, and I was entertained in it, especially when they go in slow-mo and hit the NOS. I'm like, I'm more entertained watching that than I was seeing Dominic Toretto explode a vehicle and drive it off into a jet. And I guess since we're on the subject of this device that they have to find that'll cause the end of the world that Jacob is after in this movie, this plot was literally a rehash of Fast and Furious 7. I mean, in that movie, they have to find something called God's elbow or God's eye, and it's a thing that could cause total destruction to the world if put in the wrong hands. And Jason Statham is going after them for it. And then the key to be able to use God's eye is a human being, eventually a new member of the team, Ramsey. And then in this movie, it's revealed almost the same thing. To be able to use this deadly weapon, they need a human key, which is this new character that'll obviously be part of the family now, and that's the little girl that Han ends up caring for. I just thought, what was the point of bringing that in? I thought the conflict of Dominic Toretto having a brother out there was big enough for them to focus on, but you just add this sci-fi element plot that's exactly like Fast and Furious 7. I wasn't for it. I guess linking us to now the explanation for how Han is alive. I was really looking forward to how they were going to explain Han still being alive, because I thought he was a real badass character. Sad the way he died, and now this will be the third time they changed the story of how he died. Because first we thought he just died in a car crash in Tokyo Drift, but then we found out it was actually Jason Statham who went ahead and created that crash to kill him, to send a message to La Familia. And now, in the movie, they explain that Gal Gadot's character, Giselle, was actually a secret agent for the CIA that was working with Mr. Nobody. That is Kurt Russell's character. And since Gal Gadot's character had a relationship with Han, he felt he could trust Han and make him a secret agent, leading to him saving this little girl that would be the key to this ultimate destructive weapon. And to keep them in hiding, Mr. Nobody fakes his death. And even in the movie, they try to connect things by saying, oh, because Jason Statham was already after him, they just used that as an excuse for how he died. No, I think that was such a lame, boring excuse that did not work out at all, and anything made things way more confusing, especially in the flashback when you think Han died a different way by getting shot by all these guys when he's saving the little girl. It was honestly, I think, such a poor explanation, but I'm happy to have Han back somehow. And yes, of course, he's connected to the end credit scene that I will talk about for a sec, but that's the other thing I wanted to mention about this movie that I felt did not work right, is it felt like this was supposed to be their end game, or like they were trying to just show as many cameos as possible to let you know all these people exist in the Fast and Furious world, and we just have to show you them for 5 or 10 seconds. Because they showed us the FBI agent who worked with Paul Walker's character in Fast and Furious, where Paul Walker famously broke his nose, and he still has that broken nose. And I was just confused sitting in the theater like, wait, doesn't this guy hate this crew? Why is he helping them out? Did I miss something here? We also have to show Helen Mirren's character, the mother of Jason Statham. Again, cool car chase scene, but at the end of the day, it didn't really feel like she needed to be in the movie. But then, like, the shocker is Cardi B pops up in this movie. And for anybody who thought they were safe from Cardi B only being in the film for like a minute, she's gonna be in Fast and Furious 10, and you can bet she'll be in Fast and Furious 11. And to some people confused how she's even in the movie, the explanation is even more confusing. So the way she is introduced, and a background character that has apparently been around in the Fast and Furious universe forever, we just never saw her, is there was a Fast and Furious short film called Los Bandoleros that Vin Diesel directed, where it was kind of like a 20-minute short film. And in this film is that person Cara, who's the sister of Cardi B. She shows up there and is connected to Vin Diesel in a way, and that's how Cardi B is connected. I knew this was a soap opera, but now it's just confusing to keep up with all these backstories. Because one of the cameos I was most excited to see is the return of Sean from Tokyo Drift, along with Bow Wow's character, and even they didn't really make sense why they're in this movie. And I feel so mean saying it, but like, you have to remember, Tokyo Drift only happened a few years before Fast and Furious 9. It's only been like 5 or 6 years. So this guy's supposed to be straight out of high school, 5 or 6 years. The man does not look like it. Also, why are they engineers working on rockets and attaching them to a Pontiac? Like, who are they working for? Are they part of some sort of NASA group? It just doesn't fit in with the characteristic that we saw of this guy from Tokyo Drift. It honestly feels like it's a completely different character, because that guy was a bad boy, a troublemaker. Didn't really seem all that smart, but now he's an engineer working on these rockets. That's where here in Fast and Furious 9, the BS meter was just through the roof, and I could not excuse so much of this stuff, because in the past Fast and Furious movies, there was always like 2, maybe 3 scenes maximum where you're like, all right, I don't think that could happen. Physics doesn't work like that, but this is still a cool movie. I'll forgive it. Things like when Dominic Toretto caught Letty mid-air and then landed on a car, or in Fast and Furious 7 where they take one car and then jump it all the way to another building. But it was like only one of the 3 ridiculous scenes that happened in this film, where in Fast and Furious 9, I think almost every action scene is ridiculous and not believable. And when it comes to that, you just lose your suspense and you know these guys will make it out no matter what. Because not only will they come out without a scratch, Vin Diesel will still have the widest t-shirt possible after everything he's been through. But the thing we all were hearing about and they decided to do is take them to frickin' space. Yup. At some point in the movie, they send Ludacris and Tyrese Gibson's character up into space. They frickin' did it. And it really did not work at all. They played it for laughs, but every time they cut back to them in space, my audience was literally laughing. And I've seen this movie twice in theaters. One in my private screening thanks to Cinemark, and another with a group of strangers, and they were laughing their butts off. I don't even think in a good way that these guys were in space. Like, it just seems ridiculous. And now it's like, what do? Time travel? Is that why you showed us younger Dom and younger John? Alright, so let's talk about the end credit scene and what it means for the future of Fast and Furious. Alright, so after the credits roll, we see Jason Statham's character on a punching bag, just going to work, coming to find out that there's just a regular old villain inside it. Now, that guy's not important at all. Just some random character that I guess he was interrogating. And then the doorbell rings, Jason Statham goes to answer it, and Han is at the door. The marketing for Fast 9 kept saying that justice for Han is coming, so this is the beginning of that justice. Han knows he was a target and was supposed to be killed by Jason Statham's character, so this is Han coming in to either get his revenge or what I think they're probably going to do, reveal that Jason Statham was working with Mr. Nobody somehow and they faked his death together. Either way, I think if Han is pissed at Jason Statham, wants to go after him and be like, dude, why'd you try to kill me? Now I gotta get my revenge. Han should also be pissed at his familiar for teaming up with him in the last movie and making him part of the crew. That's what I thought the twist of this movie was going to be, that Han was actually a bad guy now because his family, his crew went ahead and teamed up with the guy who supposedly killed him. And also I want to quickly mention, before the credits rolled, we had a scene where they're about to do their famous barbecue at the end of every movie to celebrate that they completed another mission, and they tease Paul Walker coming in. I thought that was really awesome, but I want to clarify because I've seen a ton of people think that that means that for Fast and Furious 10 that they're going to bring back a CGI Paul Walker, when no, I don't think that's what they were implying at all. That was just them saying that Paul Walker is still in the universe. He obviously still hangs out with the family. They still go to the barbecues together, but because Paul Walker is dead, they can't really show him. So I don't think anyone should be worried that for Fast and Furious 10 or 11, they're going to have a full CGI Paul Walker for the entire movie. But those are just my spoiler thoughts on Fast and Furious 9. Like I said, guys, I'm still in it for this franchise. One movie I didn't like so much, I can forgive. I can look past and hope that 10 and 11 rock my socks and they can end this franchise off on a bang. So be sure you guys leave me your opinions down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. As always, I'm Chris. Take care.